वो सुबह कभी तो आएगी.
Everybody agrees on the question of Swiss tax. We all know there's money there. Why don't we work together to get that money back?
अगर हम सब ने अपनी अपनी जिम्मेवारियों को संभाला होता, निभाया होता, तो विदेशी बैंकों में धन जमा ना होता. और कुछ लोग होंगे जो रास्ता भी दिखाते होंगे कैसे लाया जाए.
Only 3 to 4% of Indians pay income tax. The 97% not paying a tax creates an extra burden on those 3%. So it is better to try and increase the tax base rather than implementing more taxes on the people who are already paying.
All the states have not agreed on GST. Government of India should have taken all the states in confidence.
GST did not get implemented. So that, to my mind, would have been a forward-looking legislation, bringing much more efficiency in the tax collection system.
The import duties for products being manufactured from India are very high, due to which the cost competitiveness vis-a-vis our competing countries, we are lagging.
The accountability in the system, both for the taxpayer and the tax department, should increase so that the trust is built in more transparent manner.
Presently, India has got this direct double taxation avoidance agreement with Mauritius and various other countries. So if India government does away with the direct double taxation avoidance agreement, in that case what is going to happen is we can contain the money within the country, and at the same time we can also tax on the money that is being drained out of the country.
All of us have heard about the controversies regarding Vodafone and others, and they have had to pay through their nose because we did not tell them this is what your tax liability would be in time. And we should announce the tax policies for foreign companies very clearly and very unequivocally, so that later on there is no trouble.
Taxation laws need to be clarified so that the industry knows that the country is willing to accept investment, so the foreign investors will also realize, okay, the tax structure is very clean here, so let's come here, make our investments, that will create jobs, and I think that should be the main focus of the future Prime Minister.
विदेश से जो काला धन वापस लाएंगे, उसमें से कुछ परसेंटेज ये जो रेगुलर सैलरी वाले लोग इनकम टैक्स भरते हैं ना, उनको इनाम के रूप में वापस देंगे.
Hello and welcome to Change India, an agenda for the next Prime Minister. Today, in the 11th show of our series, we have 10 policy initiatives that will enable the next Prime Minister to simplify India's complicated tax system and lower the burden of tax on the ordinary citizen. These initiatives have been culled from recommendations made by a group of experts, and you can get all the details from our website thinkindia.in.com. Joining us in the studio are 4 distinguished experts. We have Mr. B.M. Singh, former chairman of the Central Board of Direct Taxes, Mr. Mukesh Bhutani, managing partner of BMR Legal and a well-known tax expert, Ms. Anuradha Dutt, senior lawyer who handled the controversial Vodafone case, and joining us on satellite link from Mumbai is Mr. Ketan Dalal, joint tax leader of PricewaterhouseCoopers. And with them is our very own Dheeraj Nair, CEO of Network 18's Think India Foundation, who has anchored this project for us. We also have an audience in the studio, among whom are some people who have actively pitched into the debate on Twitter and on our website. I would urge all of you to contribute to future editions on Twitter and our website, and we would be delighted to invite you to participate in the upcoming shows. Do note that we will present our suggestions on taxation and 13 other policy areas to the next Prime Minister who takes office in June. The first one is all we are saying is that raise the taxation threshold exemption limits, give more relief to the ordinary citizen. So we've said raise it from the bottom one from 2 lakh to 3 lakh. But along with that, so give relief across all, but along with that, just end all exemptions, just exempt, end all of that, and also commit that you will retain these at stable levels for the next 5 years, except for inflation adjusting some of these thresholds. The highest income tax, we are saying, bring it down to 25% from the current 30%. For corporate tax, point number 2 says that have a rate of 15% on profits up to 50 crore rupees per annum, and then 25% on all sums above that. Along with that, end all exemptions, except one exemption for exports. Abolish MAT, we are saying, you don't need that. And make a commitment that you will retain these for the next 5 years. Point number 3 is related to point number 2. We are saying give a tax rebate of 5% for profits derived from export income, in addition to all the rebates that you give on indirect taxes to export income. Again, try and keep these stable for about a couple of decades until India structurally becomes a current account surplus country. Point number 4. Finance ministers love to put surcharges and levies. We are saying please don't do that on direct taxes at all. If you have to do that only on indirect taxes, and try and avoid that as well. So these are points 1 to 4. All 4, as we said, can be done in the first budget itself. Mr. Singh, you've handled these issues for the government. How doable are these and how desirable are these?
Well, doable they are, but whether they are desirable is a different matter. We have, over the past so many years, tried to increase the tax base. There are right now, I'm told, about 3.45 crore active assessees only, of all types. And that is a very low figure considering the size of our population. The moment you raise this limit, you are taking a large chunk of taxpayers out of our data systems.
No, they would still be in your data, they would just not be taxed.
No, they will not be in our data, they will not be filing returns.
Well, you still require people to
I'll give you what really happens sometimes.
Sure.
Now you say it's 3 lakhs. Somebody says, okay, I'm earning 2.8 lakhs, I don't pay any tax, I don't file any returns, but I save about 1.5 lakh a year. So 10 years, he gives an entry of a loan to somebody, which is totally actually not saved, but he just gives an entry to somebody as a loan. So, you know, I want to keep, you can keep a lower tax rate, but I want to keep them on in our databases, getting the return of income filed.
That point is well taken. That they must be
why, yes, we have to increase our database. We have to increase our number of taxpayers.
Right.
So raising it to 3 lakhs won't do the work.
I don't know whether having several taxpayers is really an answer. I think, you know, till about 10 years back, we had less than 1% of population paying tax, so now it's about 2.5 to 3%. I think what is critical is tax to GDP ratio.
Right.
I think the important aspect where the government has really failed in its desire to tax adequate number of citizens. So, you know, you look at who are these 3 crore taxpayers? They're predominantly salaried people or they're high net worth individuals.
Right.
You still don't have the concept of going and taxing the trader. You still don't have the concept of getting into B towns and C towns and really tracking the people who pay taxes. So for me, what is critical is to raise the tax to GDP ratio rather than...
Will